Well, hello, everyone. Good morning or good afternoon, good evening to all of you. Welcome to IIL's webinar on accelerating AI adoption. It's great to see so many familiar names with us today, so thank you very much. My name is Mei Wu. I'm from International Institute for Learning, and I am here in New York. I'm joined by our expert trainer, Dr. Leon Herzen, who's joining us from the lovely state of New Jersey. So in today's session, we're going to talk about how IIL can help your organization adopt and accelerate AI. We know AI is taking all of our jobs, a lot of our jobs, a lot of tasks, and it's really quite a headache, quite a challenge to how to navigate through the adoption phase. At IIL Consulting, we're dedicated to partnering with organizations like yours to solve their biggest challenges. Whether you're looking to improve efficiency, become more lean, lead change, or adapt new technology, IIL is here to help you. We're proud to build on IIL's 32 plus years of experience as a global training organization, where we will leverage our assessment capabilities, our trainers, our project management approach. We're ready to make all that work for you. All right, so let's get started. Leon, I'll hand over to you.
Thank you, May. Welcome, everybody. Really a pleasure to be here. IIL is doing a fantastic job to help people navigate those times. So, by the way, a little bit about me. I'm not going to read the slides, but I actually help IIL with AI initiatives and also the consulting practice. And it's my pleasure to be here today. Also launching at the end of this month my new podcast, Insights, with Dr. Leon Herzon. I talk with several people, book authors, experts. Of course, we talk about AI as well. On a personal level, I'm very proud to have finished a few Ironman races, those long triathlon races when you swim, bike, and run. I started playing tennis, doing rowing, and I decided instead of being good in one sport, I want to be bad in three sports. So I decided to do triathlon. But very proud to have finished several of those. So that's a little bit about me. And by the way, you see a QR code. Love to connect with you via LinkedIn. And also, as we move forward, and I have an additional file if you are interested and you want to know more about daily news on AI, books. I have a bunch of books that I can recommend to you guys, articles that we wrote together with IIL. Please shoot me a message. You're going to see my email or via LinkedIn. I'll be happy to help. That's it, guys. We have a lot to cover today. And I want to let you know that the slides that you're going to see here, we're not going to cover everything because my goal is to give you an idea. We only have 1 hour, right? Actually less than 1 hour because we have the Q&A. But I want to show you what is the approach that we recommend for organizations to implement, and some of you already started, then accelerate the implementation of AI within your organization. Could be your department, could be the entire organization, right? So many of the slides are for you as a reference. They have more details. Again, I'm not going to read those slides to you, but you have them so you can follow them and implement some of the stuff that we're going to see here today. So let's start by talking why. Why do we care about AI? What is happening? Why our organizations need to implement AI? Because, and you see a few quotes here, I really think artificial intelligence is going to be the last invention that humankind will have to invest on. And I also think that reality is between the extremes. So some people are very pessimistic. Skynet, everybody's going to die. And others are too optimistic. Well, nobody cares. This is going to go away. No, guys, reality is in between. Is here to stay. Is going to transform our society, I'm actually working on an article now to talk about the in-between times. That's where we are, the in-between times. Before AI and not fully implemented, we don't know how society is going to be in the future, but it's going to have a huge impact, right? So I'm going to show a few statistics, a few things more recent that is happening around AI. So the first thing I would like to ask you guys, grab your cell phone and go to or go to www.polev.com/Herzon, or you can just scan this QR code with your cell phone and tell me, how much do you know about AI? I just want to have a sense where we are. We already have, let's see how many people we have here right now. We have over 100 people. So how much do you know about AI? Use a little, want to learn more. Yeah, that's commonly the number one response we got, right? So very good. Yeah, 71%. Look at that. Very interesting. Okay, so 3/4 of all of us here, we know we use a little bit, but we want to learn more. Well, that's the reason we are here, right? We want to learn more. That's very good. Thank you. Okay, so that's the world that we live in, much more now. Volatility, uncertainty, complexity, ambiguity. AI is here to stay and is increasing that scenario, right? So you probably heard about ChatGPT, how the adoption of ChatGPT broke every single record in 2 months. When it was launched, got 100 million users. Nothing compares to that. The next one was TikTok, and you talk about 9 months, 2 months, 100 million users. A few news here about OpenAI. In October, not too far ago, OpenAI, which is the company who runs ChatGPT, got a $6.6 billion funding, and in March, a few months back, 40 billion. So now the valuation, of OpenAI, it's around $300 billion, being one of the top 10% most valuable companies on earth. It is believed that the next trillionaire, or the first trillionaire, as an individual, is going to come from AI. So this is where we are. Several news here. I want to just point some of them. DeepSeek, you probably heard that many months ago, was able to create a large language model, which usually took those large companies, Google, Microsoft, OpenAI, around $600 million to create a large and launch a large language model. They were able to do that under $6 million, 1%. And also, Stanford and University of Washington created a rival of OpenAI o1, the reasoning part of OpenAI, under $50. That's not a typo, guys. $50. So that's what we are. And here's for you guys who know a little bit about AI. You know, in the early 50s, Turing test is a test that allows people to measure if AI can pretend to be a human. And finally, the University of San Diego demonstrated OpenAI GPT 4.5 was able to, in 73% of cases, fool human judges, pretend they were human. So those things are getting very, very fast. Guys, being updated on what's happening on AI is like drinking from a fire hose. Here's a suggestion for you. Is one of the things I can send to you, but I'm gonna, all right, you can subscribe to the rundown.ai. It's a daily news, 5 minutes, guys. Top news. If you want to know what's going on invest 5 minutes and you subscribe to their other newsletter. I really like this one, right? So here's the market of using AI on hardware, software, and services. Look at that in 10 years from the first time that we got this measurement here in 2022. Look to 111 billion to almost 2.4 trillion dollars market. This is a very recent statistic, right? The biggest industries of tomorrow. What are we talking about? E-commerce, AI software, cloud services, electric vehicles, and so on and so forth. So you can see it here at Visual Capitalist. It has a very nice set of graphs. That's where the money is going. There is not a single organization on earth that's not going to be touched by AI. So the reason why you're here, how to accelerate AI adoption within your company, is very good news, because I also believe that we're going to have two types of organizations in the near future. The ones that are going to use AI for their advantage, and the ones that are going to disappear because the ones using AI will overcome them. So it's really something that makes us think. Last week, you probably heard about that. In entry-level jobs for Gen Zs, they are graduating now. It's really something to be worried about, because AI will take a lot of those entry-level jobs as mid-career white-collar work as well. So we're going to have some job displacement happening here. We did some survey about the impact of AI in project management. If you guys are interested in project management, this paper is available. You can connect with us. We can provide you access to that. I'm not going to go here into details. Another result of the survey, but basically it shows here the main challenges we have on AI implementation is resistance from team members, lack of understanding. Remember that first poll that I asked you guys? How much do you know about AI? So we are learning more and more. So the best way to do that is to keep learning and keep using, right? All right. October last year, we had a privacy issue, a start of a discussion about privacy when a couple of students from Harvard decided to take those Meta glasses that has some video connected to Facebook, and they were able to see a person walking on the campus and taking that person's picture, comparing with Facebook, and finding information about that individual. So we have some privacy challenges here. There's a lot of discussion about that. This is happening. This is happening. All right. I hope that very short amount of statistics and information supports the reason why your organization, your department, and you as an individual should invest on knowing more about AI. Right? So what we are going to do here is to show you a 4-step approach to implement. We can help you at IAL Consulting. We can help you to do that. You can follow that by yourself when you need help. Hey, can we have some help? The idea of the next slides is a guide for you to follow. You might be able to do that by yourself. We'll be happy to help. Right? So let's go here to a second poll where you think your organization is related to AI. So let's go here to the second poll. Same thing, right? Let's see, where is, you can use, you already open on your cell phone, just use that. If you came a little bit later, scan this QR code or go to www.pollev.com/horizon and let us know where you think your company is right now. Let me take a look here. Understand the benefits, just started using it. Wow, that's moving very quick. I'm gonna give you a little bit more time here to Answer the, wow, it's almost a match. Look at that. Okay. Wow, very well distributed. And interesting to see as well that we have 18% or 19%, 1/5 of all of us here, the company already develop and launch your own AI model, which is fantastic. Your own chatbot, protecting your data, etc. That is very good news, very good news. But the number one here is establish clear policies, well done, and procedures for the use of AI across the organization. So even if you are on those last two here, you can still benefit for understanding what are the steps that you have to follow. Maybe some of them you already did, others you didn't. So it's going to be useful for you to know that as well. Sorry about that. All right. Thank you for your input. Those are the 4 steps. And instead of stopping here, let me go here one by one. First one, we need to have some knowledge alignment. Remember, on that statistic that I showed you at the beginning, one of the main challenges is the understanding about AI. When we did a survey, Dr. Elisa Farrow and myself, we asked project managers around the globe, what are the main challenges of using AI? And the number one was the lack of knowledge. So the first thing you want to do is to make sure that people understand what AI is and what is not, right? Things that we are doing here, we are improving our knowledge. Every time you guys go to a webinar or anything like that, you're improving your knowledge about the topic. How can we use that in practice? And how does AI fit your organization? That's number one. The step number 2, let's measure, because it's nice to say, hey, we are good or we are not so good, but let's measure that. We have an AI maturity assessment that allows us very simple 10 questions per level. I'm going to show you that here. That allow us to, that assessment gives you an idea where you stand on the 5 levels of maturity in AI. So you do the assessment and you analyze the results. All right. I have some knowledge across my organization. I know where I am. What is the next step? Next step is to find out where can we use AI for our benefit, for my department, for my organization, for my own benefit as a project manager, as a leader, as an executive. What are the opportunities? Because guys, every organization is different. Some of you are more advanced on the use of AI, others are not. So the next step here, step number 3, is a very important one, is for us to analyze where are the opportunities. Are you in retail? Are you in telecom? Are you in financial services, technology? Each industry has different types of opportunities. We're going to go through that. And finally, let's create, now that we know the opportunities, let's create an action plan. Let's get those opportunities. Let's get the benefit through an action plan. The moment that we help our clients through the implementation, we usually step out. You have your plan, you start implementing. Some of our clients come back and say, hey, can you help us navigate the implementation as well? And of course, we're going to help. So, but that's the idea. And by the way, this entire process you can do pretty much by yourself if you have the resources and if you have the assessment and everything else, by all means. So what is the value of doing that? You're going to have for your organization, for your department, for yourself, you're going to be able to make better decisions. Because generative AI specifically that generates content, generates information, allows you to make better decisions. Don't ask the computer, the generative AI, to make a decision for you, but AI can deal with vast amount of information, find trends where you cannot. As a human being, it's almost impossible, but it can deal with all that and recommend, and then you make the decision. So the human becomes the decision maker based on the information provided by AI, which means all those tasks. And if you are a project manager, you might agree with me that on our day by day, we are mostly in the past task managers, not project managers. We are doing task, checking schedule, checking, oh, this thing is delayed, it's over budget, let me check what's the performance here and there, and doing a lot of those tasks or recurring tasks. These can all be done by AI, freeing you to make strategic decisions, right? To make the call, to analyze the situation, which is going to increase productivity and efficiency because you are not dealing with all those recurring tasks anymore. You probably can deal with more projects, right? And make the decisions. Of course, once you get that, your clients are happier, you get more business, you increase your revenue, every company, unless you're non-for-profit. And even if you're non-for-profit, what you want is to help more organizations, right? So those are the reasons why you want to implement AI within your organization. What you're gonna do through those 4 steps, you're gonna know where you are on AI. Maybe you think that you're not doing very well, and the assessment is gonna say otherwise. Or maybe you think you are very good in the assessment. You have some areas for improvement, right? You're gonna create a roadmap for you to integrate to your needs. Check what are the potential use and what are the limitations. Then it can be driven by the type of business that you have, right? And make the improvement. All right. Let's talk about step number 1. Knowledge alignment. Guys, that's the easy one. That's very, very easy. We are talking about doing training. We are talking about understanding what is AI. What is generative AI? What is large language model? What is machine learning? All those concepts that some of you already know, others don't, but it's nice to have a common language. And by the way, I'm going to show you a slide towards the end. We have at IIL a lot of courses that are directed to help you on this step, to better understand AI, how to use AI in a specific industry, and things like that, right? So that's what we're talking about. Not only the training, but I think the second, it's very important, workshop. If you are a project manager, we have a fantastic, that's a workshop, generative AI for project managers. Guys, we use generative AI from before you have a project that you're selling your business case to the moment that you're already monitoring, controlling your projects, and how you can use generative AI to do that. I had a chance to deliver some of those classes. Is transformative. People just, oh my goodness, I didn't know how much I could use to do a risk analysis, to create a work breakdown structure, to identify my stakeholders, and all kind of stuff that can be done using generative AI throughout a project management lifecycle. So workshops, way better than theory, right? In practice, that's how we learn, guys. We learn by doing. We don't learn by listening to slides or reading slides and stuff like that. We have some type of learning on that, yes, but at the end of the day, we learn by doing. So my suggestion to you, practice. Try it. There are so many tools out there. If you don't know where to start, shoot us an email. Send me a message on LinkedIn. I'll be happy to help, all right? Where is AI relevant? Can I use AI for everything? Of course not. So you need to understand where AI can actually add value and transform your organization. Okay, everybody understands AI. Let's check how a company is on a 5-level AI maturity model. This is our 5-level, and by the way, maturity assessments, they all have 5 levels since CMMI, project management maturity assessment, AI maturity assessment, whatever you can imagine, they usually have 5 levels. The level 1 is awareness, so I'm aware about AI, then I go to explore the use of AI. Nice. Now I'm going to integrate AI into my processes, which gonna generate a transformation of the way my company operates, and then I keep optimizing. So after I finish showing you those 5 levels, I'm gonna ask you where you think your organization fits on those 5 levels, right? Because it's good for you to know where you stand. Level 1, awareness. Basically, what it's talking here is what is the benefit and what you have to do for each level, from the employee, knowing what AI is, from the leadership to understand. They don't need to be experts on AI. I'm a decision maker. How much do I need to know, right, about AI? And for the organization as a whole. It was very interesting to see on our poll that 20% of all the organizations here, you already have clear policies you have implemented. That is great. So certainly you are above level 1. Level 2, all right, it's time to play with AI. Try to see what works. Get some pilot projects out there to use AI. Now you start dedicating resources to explore where AI can help. And of course, you need to have top management support. It's very hard for you to do any of those implementations if you don't have top management support. Then you might ask, but Leon, how do I convince my boss? And maybe that's one of the questions we might have. I just want to give you a hint. You start with your department. If you have authorities over a department or even over a project, you start using and then show how better results you can get by using AI. That's going to convince your management, right? Okay, level 3. Guys, level 3, I explored, it worked. Now I'm going to start using that throughout my business. I'm going to start checking, optimizing. I'm going to define a strategy. And by the way, here, not very hard to go from level 1 to level 2. Not very hard. The hardest part is go from level 2 to level 3. Yeah, you ran the pilot. To go across the entire organization, right? Level 3, the integration of AI into your processes, that's the hardest part. All right. Then, okay, we integrated. Now it's time to transform the organization. My organization is being fundamentally, it's a very important word here, transforming how the organization works. That's this level. So now I think you guys are already thinking, where is my organization out of those 5 levels? AI is driving innovation. AI is competitive advantage. Remember what I said at the beginning? 2 types of organizations. The one that's going to use AI for competitive advantage, and the ones that are not going to be there any longer. Doesn't matter which industry. If you're not using AI, you're going to be left behind. You don't want that, right? So optimization. I reach that point. I transform my processes. AI is used as the core of value creation. You have a lot of decisions that are made by AI with minimal but not inexistent human input. You always want to have the human in the loop. It's something that we learn. It's very important. And you keep optimizing your processes. And who knows what's happening in 2 years, 5 years. The landscape is going to change completely. So it's very hard to make a prediction, right? All right, so now it's the time for you to answer that question. It's my last question here on our presentation. I want you to tell me what maturity level you think your organization is. You guys already have awareness, you already started exploring, you already integrated. When I say 3, it means you already integrated AI into your processes. It's not that you're trying to, you already did it, right? 4, you're already changing the way you guys operate, right? So we have over 120 people here today. Let me take a look on those numbers. Exploration level 2, it makes a lot of sense. And by the way, 3% of you guys on level 5, congratulations. Some companies are ahead, others are going after. Level 4 is also growing close to level 3. Not a surprise that level 2 is more than half. More than half of our organizations, we are exploring where we are on AI, right? We're exploring the use of AI on our day-by-day in our operations. Very cool. Okay, thank you. Thank you for answering that. If you want to join a global assessment, level 1 awareness, to know where you are on level 1, that is completely free, you just scan this QR code. But Leon, this thing is gonna mix my results with everybody else. Yes. What about if I want this assessment just for my organization for level 1? Again, free. You don't need to pay anything. Just shoot us an email and we are going to create a special link for your organization, and you can send to 1,000 people, it doesn't matter, to check level 1. So I started doing that a couple years ago. We have hundreds of people who responded the global one, including PMI Global Congress last year in Los Angeles. So we get hundreds and hundreds, and here's what we got. And by the way, guys, this slide deck is going to be available for you. Right, May? We are uploading the slide deck, and people can download, correct?
We normally don't provide the slide deck, Leon, due to proprietary reasons, but we do encourage our participants to review the materials, the website, our website, and the recording. Take notes, screenshots as you feel fit. Thank you so
I'm
much.
glad that I asked you. All right, so here's the thing, guys. If you want to be part of that, shoot us an email. We are going to provide, even though we are not providing the entire slide deck, we are going to provide you that link to get a global assessment. And also, if you want to have that only for your organization at no cost, level 1. Of course, the entire assessment then we are going to charge you. Is not a lot of investment, but I think it's a good way for you to run a pilot, see how it works. So we did that. Of those hundreds of people who took this assessment, if they were one organization, how they will be on level 1 awareness? They'll be here. 38.5%, close to 39 points, right? That means if all those hundreds of people were in one organization, they will score level 1 at this stage. Organization with moderate awareness that began to explore AI, but have not fully integrated. It makes sense based on what we saw in the results, right? And this is an output you're going to get when you request, if it's separated for your organization. When we look to the entire number of people that we got, here are the results. The highest strongly agree. The organization is aware of the potential benefits. That is great. If we look to those two, the purple and the red, strongly agree and agree, the highest is here. There is a general interest in AI among our leadership. So not only the organization is aware of the potential benefits, but leadership has a general interest on AI. Where did this group of people score the lowest? The orange part. The importance of AI has been communicated. Well, we always know that communication is one of the issues. Not a surprise here. So it's one of the issues as well. So yes, the leadership understands the need, it's interested, the organization is aware, we are not communicating that very well to our employees, right? So that's the picture that we got. That's, again, level 1, awareness. And we have the same for the other 4 levels. All right. Going back, knowledge aligned, great. I know where I stand on the assessment. I'm at a level 2, a level 3. And by the way, we don't give a magic number, but we tell you which areas you have to improve for each of those levels, right? Now let's find out where are the opportunities. So I'm going to go through some opportunities with you that are generic for pretty much every industry, right? Some might be more significant than others. The first opportunity is at level 1, you can improve customer support. A lot of tasks will be done by AI, and you know that 2025, the year of agent, AI agents, agentic AI. So if you don't know anything about AI agents, I urge you, take a look, get some training, get some type of webinars or anything like that to understand, because we are going to do a lot with AI agents in the future. Emails and stuff like that. On level 2, on exploration, where are the opportunities, the most common? Well, you're going to start optimizing your supply chain. Human resources will have great benefits when you start exploring. You have a lot of predictions. Generative AI is actually a lot of predictions. It's a prediction machine, right? Financial aspects, sales forecast, and etc. When you go to level 3, again, it's the toughest level to reach. When you go to level 3, where are the opportunities? Once you integrate AI to all those different functions, it's not a specific project, it's not a specific department. You're talking about across the organization. So now you have a customer experience that is integrated and is improved throughout your organization. You have better pricing models, more sensitive based on markets. You cannot charge the same thing in one region that you charge on another region. So it's going to help you to define that. It's going to improve your risk analysis and recommendations, right? Improve your quality control and things like that. When you go to transformation, again, now you have a systemic use of AI technologies throughout your organization. Real-time decisions, things that will take weeks to analyze data and to make decisions instantaneously. It just provide you that information and you make the final decision, right? You're going to improve your cybersecurity, absolutely crucial, right? Within our environment today. Energy and things like that. Those are opportunities at this level. And finally, optimization. At this level, optimization, AI is embedded, is part of not only your operations, but your culture, in your day-by-day culture, how AI is going to interact with every single aspect of your organization. So you're going to have a lot of autonomous operations, processes, right? AI is going to be a core part of what you offer as a product and service. Remember that slide on where the industries will collect more money, trillions of dollars on AI services and things like that. All right. We are getting close to the end here, but what is step number 4? I align the knowledge. I know where I am to the assessment. I identify opportunities. Now, let's create an action plan. Things that you can take, actions from moving from awareness to level 2 exploration. Actions are Training and development, obvious. You talk about awareness. AI project teams. So once you look to those, and those are few, okay, we have a limited space on a area on a slide, right, that we can fit, but those are few actions that you can start thinking about. How can I improve my stakeholder engagement? Having some AI strategy workshops, pilot projects. When I go from exploration to integration, remember the toughest part, what are the actions? Cross-functional is not about a pilot anymore. It's not about a department. It's cross-functional. You do some feasibility studies because, okay, AI might make a lot of promises. What is the return of investment? What are the real results? How feasible it is to make a change on my existing process to the new one, right? You can have a series of assessments, several rollouts of previous pilots, right? When you go to level 3, you already integrated to transformation. Those are a few actions. Create an AI governance process that is strong and it covers all the processes using AI. You use AI for strategic planning. You have training for leadership. They need to know even more now that you are at this stage, and risk management as well. And for level 4 to 5, that movement from level 4 to 5, and I just didn't mention here, but I wanted to emphasize, here is urgency. It's about urgency. Those actions is to speed up. These actions here for level 2 to 3 is to give you the direction, because remember, you're moving from exploration to implementing throughout your organization. From level 3 to 4, okay, let's work together, right? Let's work together to get what we want. And here from level 4 to 5, measurement, data, innovations, customer-centric AI development, right? Those are few actions that you can take. And finally, on level 5, I'm at level 5. We got, I think, 3% of our companies here represent on level 5. How you keep sustaining, how you keep this thing, because level 5 doesn't mean it's done. It means you reach a point and you have to keep improvement, right? So keep on going, and because it's going to change. It's going to change. You have to adapt quickly. The good news is that if you reach that point, you are way better prepared for those changes. You're going to focus a lot of ethics and bias and discussions like that, right? In summary, knowledge, and you see this arrow here, do the assessment, identify the opportunities, do your action plan. Once you did your action plan, you implemented what you're going to do, you go back and assess. Because if you were pretty much on level 2 or 3, now you expect that through those actions, after 6 months, you have to give some time, 6 months, a year, whatever, you want the next assessment to get better results. If not, why did you invest all this time, right? All this effort, all this point, right? So that's it. Wow, I got exactly 15 minutes for Q&A. So I hope, guys, that was useful. I'm going to keep this slide here because I think it helps a lot for us to position ourselves, right, where we are on an AI implementation and start answering some of your questions. So we have 15 minutes. We have 125 people here today. So May, I'm going to direct to you. You read me the question and I'll do my best to answer. And again, guys, if you need any help, oh, by the way, I have to cover, sorry about that. I have to cover here, of course. I cannot let people, that's my LinkedIn connection. Connect with me on LinkedIn. If you need additional information, by all means, accelerate AI adoption. If you want that level 1 free assessment, connect with us. You see here our website, connect with us, or just go in QR code. And of course, I told you we have not just a webinar or a workshop, we have several areas where you can improve your AI knowledge, right? Generative AI for project management is the workshop that I told you, very practical. You can also get certifications. They are recognized by APMG, right? AI practitioner. It's fantastic course. AI Foundation as well, and AI Essentials, right? So you have some dates here for you guys to explore. And yeah, to wrap up, a bunch of information on your learner dashboard that you're
Yes.
gonna get. And I'm gonna go back to you, May, if you want to explore additional things
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Why don't we go back to one of your earlier slides? Maybe the consulting right after this one, I think.
Oops.
No, sorry, before wrap up. Okay, right here. Let's spend a moment here. Let's cover some of the content questions that came up. So we've got
Yes.
some really good questions. I want to thank you all for your attention today. Dr. Herzen, because you are a professor and a consultant, so Dr. Herzen.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had a couple of questions earlier on. You mentioned a project management article. This was earlier in the presentation. Can you possibly share that with us, or just repeat the name of it, and then we can direct people to our blog webpage?
Yes, the article is, the article is right here. I'm sorry if I'm gonna just jump here very quick because that's gonna be helpful for you guys. This is the article. So it's the impact of artificial intelligence in project management, a survey, right? If you go to iil.com and you go to resources and you see papers and articles, it's right there to download. Or again, just send me a message on LinkedIn. Please provide me, I send you the article, I send you the link to the article. Good question. What else?
All right, so that's the impact of artificial intelligence in project management, a survey. It's written by Dr. Kersner and Dr. Alyssa Farrow, both of whom are
Yeah,
consultants.
myself and Dr.
Leon, Dr.
Yeah.
Herz, yes. So three great experts, and they're all part of IIL Consulting. So that's wonderful, and thank you for sharing that, Leon. Thank you for the questions, everyone here. All right. So we have a little bit of time. We would love your questions if you have any about AI adoption. I might have a question here, Leon. I'm going to ask this question.
Please.
Okay. Let's see here. And you can also ask questions in the share directly with Leon and myself or with the whole group here. Okay, so a question we have is, my company is just starting on using AI and we don't have a policy on how to implement it. Can you, IIL Consulting, IIL, can you help us with developing a policy?
Yeah, and I think the main challenge in situations like that is if your leadership is not involved and does not support you, right? The best way is for you to run a pilot within a project or your department, because what executives care? They care about results. They don't care about how you're doing that, right? And then when you implement AI, when you implement some improvements and you get better results, guess what's going to happen? They're going to call you and say, what exactly are you doing here, Mary? Because you're getting better results than the other guys. And then Mary's going to say, well, I'm using generative AI, I'm using whatever the platform is to get those results, and this is helping us to get a better performance. And then your leadership is going, okay, we'll have to do that throughout the organization. So that's the best way. If you don't have the power to implement and to create those policies, you start with that. But always remember, any chatbot that you use, ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, you should not put proprietary information there unless you have enterprise license. If you don't go and put your financial statement there. It's not a good idea, guys, because this thing is going to be open, right? Okay, next question.
Great. Thank you so much, Leon. Really excellent question here from Jeffrey. Uh, Thanks for bringing in your AI maturity model. Are there any known or recognized AI maturity models that we could cross-check for alignment purposes?
Yes, yeah, we are not the only ones that we have in the market. There are others that you can check. Actually, if you Google AI maturity assessment, you're gonna see several of them. The ones that we created, we aim to be simple and quick because some of them take a long time, and nowadays it's very hard. So we decided to go to something that goes straight to the point and provide the answers. So I cannot recommend any other but the IIL because it's the one that I know. The others I don't know that well, but there are others out there, Jeffrey. So good question.
All right. I seem to have lost the my chat screen. So Leon, if you see any questions, please feel
Yeah,
free to
I
respond to
see
them.
here. I
Okay.
think you got another question to the Q&A.
Yes, okay. We have a wonderfully diverse group in our audience today. We have participants from so many different industries, and looking at the registration list, we see construction, healthcare, IT, aviation, government, manufacturing, pharmaceuticals, automation, automotive, and financial services. So a really wide spectrum. Given that range, can you tell us how applicable is the AI adoption approach different across industries?
Well, that's a good question. So one thing is for sure, not a single industry will be spared, if you will, on the impact of AI. Every single one. So those 4 steps apply to every industry. There are some slight differences between industries, but it's when you implement those 4 steps, you're going to make the proper adjustments to your reality because one implementation is not the same as another one. Those 4 steps are universal. So you can use those 4 steps. Doesn't matter what your industry is, and you're going to make the proper adjustments. Some industries will benefit more on customer service than others. Some industries will perform better on predictive analysis, like maintenance of telecom a network that does not apply to a retail company, right? Financial services, they have different type. They're going to be very heavily involved on risks, right? As it is healthcare. So each industry have very specific, but those 4 steps, they were created to be universal, not industry specific. Very good question. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Leon. We have another question here. I want to mention that we have a great mix of roles represented today. We have project managers, project professionals. We also see IT professionals, so a really wide range. And since AI adoption is a strategic priority that needs top-down support from really across the organization, what advice would you have for participants in today's session? How to bring this topic up to senior management? How do they start having this conversation with their leaders?
Well, how to bring it up? I think I'm going to go back to run the pilot at your department, at your project level, get the results and show because nobody will argue against results, right? So that's the first thing. So the last part of the question is how do you approach a top executive? If they don't approach you to ask, hey, I noticed that you are getting better results. How do you approach them? Because guys, we need to understand that if you don't get leadership support, it's going to be very hard to implement something within your organization, right? You need executive support. And a lot starts with education. So try to have conversations. Some of you invested 1 hour of your time today. I'm pretty sure that based on our chat today, you have some ideas that you can have an elevator conversation. Go with your executive and say, hey, you know what? I learned some very interesting stuff about that, and summarize what you learned. The same happens with everybody here who can go to your team that couldn't attend a webinar, could not attend a course, and share with them what you know. The best way is share knowledge. Share the knowledge that what you learn. Doesn't matter if the executive, that if it's your peers or people that report to you, the difference is how long. For an executive, don't ask, hey, I need 1 hour of your time to talk about AI. That's not gonna fly, guys. You have 10 minutes, 5 minutes is when you start, you provide the information and grab their attention, and that's it. So that's the only recommendation I have. Share the knowledge. Share the knowledge.
Fantastic. And we are here to help you. As Leon mentioned, this is not AI is not an endeavor that you can really do alone as an organization. You need best practices, and we are here to help you. And there are so many resources. We have a few minutes left, so I want to just spend a little minute on wrapping up. Leon mentioned this slide before. So apart from our IIL consulting practices, we are very much wanting to support your professional growth, and we have these AI courses available. I've listed here the live virtual dates that are coming up in the coming months. We also offer some of these courses as self-paced learning, as well as we can offer these as in-person training on site, especially for your team. So get in touch with us, check out the syllabus. If you're interested in these courses for yourself or for your team, we're here to help you. All right, and just a final note, if you'd like to go to the next slide, Leon, we can wrap up here. Okay, all right, so you can catch the recording of this webinar as well as the PDU code. If you're interested in the PDU code, you can find that on your learner dashboard. The PDU code should be available to you right after this session ends. And do expect a follow-up email tomorrow from us with the links and the resources from this webinar. And as always, we welcome your feedback to this session. Let us know how you feel this session went for you and what you'd like to see from us going forward. We're always looking to improve, and we want to be sure to deliver what's best to help you grow.
Very good. Thank you. Really
All right.
appreciate. Very nice to see everybody here. We got a very nice group of people, good questions, and we are here to help.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, everyone, for your fabulous engagement. It was really lovely to see you all again. And as Leon mentioned, get in touch with him via LinkedIn, email us at IIL.com, contact us. Go to the form on our IIL.com page, and you can find us there. As always, thank you again, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you, Dr. Herzen, for your insights, and we look forward to seeing all of you again soon. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye.